what Clare Crawley is saying about her split with Dale Moss. Hey guys, we're back with another huge Bachelor Nation drama update. This week has been just insane with the Clare and Dale drama and what it has to do with Abigail. Before we get into it, if you are new here, make sure you subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any Bachelor Nation updates. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Wright, joined by the wonderful Fiona Zaring. Fiona, have you been able to keep up with all this drama? Because my head is spinning.
Morgan, let me tell you, I have been trying my absolute best to keep up with this drama, and it has been a challenge. I feel like yesterday in particular, every time I opened my phone, there was a new rumor, a new angle to try to analyze, try to understand. Claire certainly has sent us on a bit of a roller coaster ride. I cannot wait to just unpack it all.
Yeah, so like you said, Bachelor Nation was hit with a bombshell this week when it was announced that Clare and Dale had broken up again. And according to page 6, it didn't end well. We didn't really know what that meant, but Claire posted something on her Instagram where she doesn't actually come out and say that it didn't end well, but all signs point to a messy breakup. We're going to break down a little bit what she said in her Instagram caption because that's where she made her first public statement. She started with, I hate that I even have to say this, but in response to all the questions that are coming my way right now, I'm choosing not to speak right now on the details of my relationship. Because at the end of the day, anyone can put on an act or throw words together to form any narrative they want. Act in all capital letters. Fiona, what do you think that means?
I mean, I just feel like there's no way that we cannot read into that she is calling out Dale. Like, what else are we supposed to interpret that as? Because she very specifically, that sentence could have been her saying, like, the media can string together any words that they want and create any narrative they want, right? Like, she said, anyone can put on an act. That is calling out a specific person, and we all know that rumors are everywhere regarding her and Dale, how they broke up, why they broke up. Certainly feels like, I think at least, it's safe to interpret that Dale did something, and his behavior since then has been upsetting Claire.
Now, she could also be referring to a Bachelor Nation fan favorite when talking about acting. We'll get into that in a little bit because there's more that I want to talk to you about Claire's caption. She continued by saying, what I will speak on is emotionally and physically, I'm going through a lot with healing from my recent surgery still and my mother being placed in hospice care now. She continued saying, so my energy is focused on grieving, healing, and being present at home here in Sacramento while trying to share and help others going through similar life experiences as I'm sharing today. You know, Claire is going through a lot. The photo itself is
Mhm.
a picture of her holding her mother's hand. You know, she said in the caption that she was placed in hospice care. Do you think that, considering all of the circumstances, that she will ever kind of open up and tell us what really happened behind closed doors? Or do you think this is kind of her way of addressing it and then she's just going to move on?
You know, it's so interesting because with Claire, I feel like I am a 50-50 split down the middle. I feel like she might share another cryptic post down the line that, maybe confirms the breakup but doesn't explain why. And I also feel like there's not a 0% chance that we get a full video addressing, hey, I'm on, my 2 feet again, and this is everything that has happened. And I wanted you to hear it from me, and not allow people to peddle narratives that aren't my truth. You know what I mean? Like, Claire is
Yeah.
such a hot and cold type of person in Bachelor Nation. So I don't know that we'll ever get the full story. But as we're going to continue unpacking, it just certainly feels like there is something that Claire has her side. Dale has his side. Maybe somebody else has a side, right? And I think she's going to want to get her side out there.
Yeah, so she kind of wraps it up on her Instagram saying that she's grateful for those people who are supporting her. This is a quote from her page. I'm just thankful for the people in my life who offer genuine, unconditional love with no personal gain and stand by me through thick and thin. All capital letters, especially when the cameras are off. with no accolades. Actions speak for themselves. Again, the very specific words, sentences, and phrases that are in all capital letters, especially when the cameras are off. It's a shot at Dale, or do you think this is a shot at Abigail? Because we did see that Abigail was tagged in the photo, and we will get to that as well. But based on, those two facts, do you think it was about Dale, Abigail, or maybe both?
I think it could maybe be both. And I actually think it's really interesting. You pointed out that the act thing from earlier in the caption could be about Abigail. And that kind of got my wheels turning because that would make sense. The way I'm kind of interpreting this portion of the caption from Claire is it feels like, no cameras are rolling, right? They're not running around New York City living fabulous lives. Her mother is ill. It's time to go home to Sacramento, hunker down, be there for family. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, it's going to be difficult and it's going to be emotional. And you want a support system to be there that genuinely cares about you. And I kind of feel like this is a shot at Dale, who we know is not in Sacramento with Claire, never went to Sacramento with Claire in the recent weeks, as far as we're aware, right? And I feel like that could have been what spurred the breakup is she needed a true partner, someone to truly be supportive and not just show up to events with her. And he couldn't show up. And then, I mean, Morgan, we're obviously going to get to this. Somewhere along the way, Abigail enters the picture one way or another.
Yeah. So, what does this all have to do with Abigail from Matt's season? Well, the post, when originally put up, Claire had tagged Abigail, and everyone was like, "What is this? The tag is no longer there." But we recently did a little bit of a test, Fiona and I did, and you can remove tags of yourself. So, if Abigail saw that photo and she got like, flooded with DMs, she can't untag herself from that photo and the tag would have disappeared. So, did Claire untag her? Did Abigail untag herself? Here's where it gets a little conspiracy theory, or at least we're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Earlier this week, an anonymous tip was sent into Dumois, which is a very gossipy Instagram account. It read, "A bachelor favorite hooked up with a Bachelor Nation recent winner who may or may not have been on a break earlier this year. One of them is on Paradise right now, but producers won't mess up her good girl edit." I mean, it's pretty cut and dry if you ask me, especially because we got this tip from Dumois first. We got it really, really quickly after Claire and Dale announced, that they were split. So at first, everyone didn't even know if this was about Dale until Claire
Mhm.
tagged Abigail in that post. And I mean, it makes perfect sense. Abigail is on Paradise right now. She is getting the good girl edit. So do
Mhm.
you think that something went down between Abigail and Dale?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but she lives in New York, right?
I think
Yeah.
she
So
does.
Yeah, so if Abigail is in New York City and Dale is in New York City, we all know. I mean, look at how many Bachelor Nation people were at the governor's ball recently. Like the New York crowd of Bachelor alums gets together on a regular basis. I think they get invited to a lot of the same events, openings, parties, whatever. So I feel like the odds that their paths crossed, right, is not out of the question. We all know that Abigail and Noah are crashing and burning in paradise. So it doesn't seem like there's any hope that she would be in a relationship that she's keeping secret right now. It's really interesting. Is it possible that they ran into each other and Dale said to her, "Listen, it's not public knowledge yet, but Claire and I broke up, whatever." And something happened, maybe. I think that would be the best case scenario, right? Is that they were already broken up and that something between Dale and Abigail didn't cause the breakup. I don't know. It feels really messy. I agree with you. The anonymous tip feels extremely spot on. I mean, who else would they be talking about in Paradise? I think Abigail is the only person who's truly got the good girl edit. Not that other people don't seem good, but she has maintained that very pristine good girl image from the minute she stepped on the beach.
Yeah, I agree. Wow, it is a lot to unpack, though. Your mind goes in 100 different directions. Something else interesting in that tip, and I think something that has gotten a little bit muddy or murky, if you will, is Did this happen while Clare and Dale were on a break? Did it happen while they were together? Did it happen while they were working through some things? Let's just say, because we don't know for sure, that they were on a break. Do you think it would warrant this type of reaction from Claire if, in fact, they weren't actually together at that moment?
I mean, not to like reference Friends, but I feel like you can't hear the phrase like on a break without going there. And my opinion of the television show to real life, it all stays the same. If you're on a break, it's all about timing, it's all about specific parameters. Are you taking 3 months off and agreeing to not speak with each other and go sow your wild oats? That's one thing. Did you break up and the next day or hours later go hook up with somebody else? That's another story. And that feels a lot more like a betrayal than, something that was above board. So I think that without knowing those parameters, it's hard to know exactly if what Claire has done here is warranted, but it certainly feels like posting something like that post and going so far as to tag Abigail means she is incredibly upset, right? She's coming from a place of anger. She's pissed. She wants people to know that there is some sort of level of truth to these rumors. Because why else would she be doing it, right? So, again, we're kind of going conspiracy theory, putting the pieces together here. But that to me signals that let's just say they were on a break. Maybe they even were broken up, right? Did this happen so back to back that it's just leaving a negative taste in her mouth, Hopefully we get some answers.
Yeah, and I wanna kind of go the other route too. Let's say that they were together and this happened.
Mhm.
Do you think, because it's my opinion that Bachelor Nation, including myself, we've been hard on Claire. I have been hard on Claire just because her season was a bit of a mess. To me, she was a bit irresponsible in the way that she approached, her role as the Bachelorette, a little immature in my opinion. But
Mhm.
seeing it play out like this, I start to turn into Team Claire because it's like, she is going through a lot. She did give Dale another shot. And I, 10 times out of 10, would rather have a lead get back together with someone in hopes to work it out than a Pilot Peter situation where they really don't have any intention on actually getting married or being in even a serious relationship with any of, their suitors. So, does this make you go easier on Claire, or do you still kind of think, she kind of does this to herself sometimes?
It's so hard because I'm with you. I didn't love the way she handled her season. I think it was kind of a big bummer, right? Because the way the season was marketed to all of us was here is this brand new type of bachelorette. She's so mature. She knows what she wants. She's taking this seriously, right? And then, not to say that in her own head, she didn't take it seriously, but for all of us watching at home, it was a difficult season. It was sort of hard to root for Dale, right? We didn't fall in love with him in 12 days. We didn't understand what was so great that it all needed to end that fast. So I think it has been hard for people to not look at Claire very critically. But even though I'm just going to say it, it is incredibly bold to post somebody like that, knowing that, not paparazzi, but reporters are going to pick it up, right? Knowing that it's
Yeah.
going to land in the press. That is a bold move. I don't necessarily know that it is the most mature move, but I feel for her and I am feeling sympathetic to her because my gut from day one has said that Dale is not all that he seems to be, that he is not as committed to her as he seems to be, that he was not ready to get engaged when they did, but he went along with it for the bells and whistles of TV. And I think that this is a person who's ended up really hurt, especially the clues she's giving us about being with her family, dealing with her mother, who is so sadly, obviously, so ill. It really does feel like Dale has hurt her. And I don't want to, jump too far to conclusions and say that he's the one who definitely did something wrong. But that's kind of where my gut lies. I don't know that she's handling this perfectly, but in my gut, I feel like Dale did something shady here.
And time will tell if we will get those details on what exactly he did. I have a feeling that Claire is not going to leave one stone unturned. And when she's ready to give us the tea, she will give us the tea. You guys, that's all we have for you. We know it's a lot of information to digest, but let us know in the comments what you think of it all. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, ring the bell before you leave so you don't miss out on any Bachelor Nation updates. You can also come say hi to Fiona and myself. Our social media handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.